Born to Rebecca McEwen and Daniel Tresman on a frosty October morning, Andy Leslie Sparrow was never like the other thrashers. He didn't understand his inexplicable enthusiasm for getting involved, incessant use of the term banter, and appalling alcohol tolerance. Muddling along nonetheless, Andy worked hard, throwing himself into college life. He was a good student, achieving top marks in his sports science degree once he finally learnt to colour within the lines. He joined record numbers of sports and societies, yet his insatiable enthusiasm was never quite sated. One fateful Michaelmas night, Andy lay sleeping, cold and alone, when suddenly he felt a great warmth entering his body. Waking, he found a cousin of a well-known Hoover manufacturer at the foot of his bed, smiling beatifully. "Oh," said Andy, in his dreamlike state, "thank you for coming. I've been so confused." The vision silenced Andy, placing a gentle finger on his lips, issuing a whispered, "Shh." "Don't be confused anymore, Captain," the vision whispered. "Follow your heart. It's you." Then the apparition retreated silently through the door, locking the room with his very own well-worn master key. Suddenly, Andy awoke, at once aware of his true vocation, to lead Grey College JCR into a new era of charitable status. Ever since, he has sacrificed time, money and hair in an effort to make other people's Grey College experience as enjoyable as his own. So what are his credentials to presidency? Well, Andy is the sort of person who gives everything his all. He has taken his kit off for charity twice now, but no one's entirely sure that he needs persuasion on either occasion. His organisational skills are rivalled only by those of the Third Reich, tempered with an affable disposition often likened to that of the Underex puppies. Most importantly, however, Andy is a great friend. Always a reliable shoulder to cry on, he's one of the few people who will open their door to you at 3 AM, when you're so binned you can't see and you're cuddling a traffic cone. He might even invite you in if you're a young, suggestible fresher. But I'm sure Ollie Cobb will not make the same mistake twice. In all seriousness, however, Andy will not be a president who walks past students in the corridor without stopping to say hello. Chances are he will remain as involved in college life as he always has been, and I'm confident that his determination to succeed in the role will carry through into a successful and, most importantly, scandal-free presidency.
Who needs friends when you've got enemies like that? Thank you. As some of you may know, my name's Andy Sparrow and I'm running for the position of JCR President. Just to clear up a couple of things before I start, although some of my friends may tell you different, this speech hasn't been written since the first week of my freshers year, and throughout the course of this next 6 minutes I will not be blacking up in order to beat little Barry. Here's going on. Back in 2006, when I first came to Grey, I arrived as a shy, nervous and slightly thinner version of the person you see before you. But as I hope you'll agree, and I hope I stand example of, Grey has the ability to change people and to forge friendships and relationships that will last long after the smell of Oswald has been washed from your clothes. When trying to explain to people back home about what life is like at Grey, it's hard to put into a couple of sentences what contributes to making Grey the experience that it is, and how much I've treasured the last 3 years at this college. Grey is a unique environment, and one that you probably will never experience again. It's a place where you have such a huge opportunity to contribute so heavily into college life, where you can get involved into a vast array of sports and societies, and where you can live within 2 minutes of 20 or 30 of your best friends. But the future of the JCR that we all know and love hinges on this year, and the ability of the student body to operate as a charitable organisation. This will entail keeping a tight control over the sports and society finances, ensuring that Pops make a profit, and the JCR can operate as an educational body and can show to the Charity Commission that there is a decent level of, there's a good level of user satisfaction by the JCR members. But why am I the right person for the job? Although I don't have a law-based background, I've been on the JCR exec for 2 years whilst this issue of the charities has been rolling and gaining momentum, and I have a detailed understanding of what is required to ensure this is a successful transition over to the new status. I've also been involved in the Sports and Societies budget over the last 2 years in my role as Sports and Societies rep and also on the Finance Committee. From a manifesto scattered around your tables, I hope you can see that I have taken on and succeeded in roles of responsibility and authority before, and I'm able to balance this along with my academic commitments, because believe it or not, sport does actually have some work involved with it. I'm also aware of the importance that the President plays in the welfare system, and to this extent I'm signed up on the Nightline scheme, which is running next week, to improve the contribution that I can make towards the welfare system at Grey. This year in the JCR is not about radical change. It's not about overhauling Fountains Hall and creating an indoor sports centre, or trying to get Grey Matter nationwide. This year is about consolidating everything that we like about Grey, everything we care about, and everything we value, and ensuring that it will be there for the future of Grey students to come. My main focus this year will be the Charities Act, to ensure that I'm going to liaise closely with the Sports and Societies treasurers to keep a tight hold of finances and ensure that when the transition comes, we are organised and ready to turn into a charitable organisation in 2010. In addition to this, I'll work closely with the JCR chair to ensure that we raise attendances at JCR meetings, which is crucial next year. I will do this by greater awareness and transparency at the start of term and throughout the year to make it hit home to people how important the JCR is in the running of everyday life within college. Next year we'll also see the introduction of the centralised catering strategy. This will see Grey groups into a group with Collingwood, Butler and Euston off. I will ensure that this will happen and will not affect the quality of Grey food, and I aim to do this by establishing an intercollegiate food committee that will meet together and that will operate to combine views and thoughts to ensure that the food levels in Grey and the other colleges will not decrease. This will ensure that if this does happen, there are steps we can take to improve it and hopefully prevent it from happening altogether. Finally, I will carry on the tradition of organising President's Guest Night and also burst the bubble trips that have been so successful this year. You may have noticed that this speech isn't full of new ideas to make things more exciting. It recognises the fact that this year is a change in focus for the JCR. We need to focus, new focus for the JCR. Presidents to come may have new ideas on how to build upon, they may build upon and make the JCR better, but this year there's an important specific focus we need to focus on, and that is consolidation. This speech may not have been the best worded, the best presented or best written, but I know and guarantee that you will not find anyone else who cares about the future of JCR more than I do. And if you give me the chance to do this role, I won't take it for granted. I will strive to ensure that in 20 years' time, people will still be sitting here having meetings like this, recovering from bops like last night, and creating memories that will last with them for the rest of their lives. I will give my all in this role for this JCR, and I will be a president that you can confide in, trust, and take pride in. Thank you.